Well, hello there, people of the internet, and welcome to this week's edition of Transformer of the Week, where we are on the concluding part of our road to auto assembly. So we're wearing green. Green is the theme. We've got to change the location. We're in my green kitchen. I am head to toe in green, literally, right down to my underpants. I've gone too far. I don't need to show you proof, but I've gone too far with the green. But, you know, we're wearing green for that one last time, because it's the final auto assembly. Next year, TF Nation. Something new, folks. Something new. So yeah, green theme to the ultimate. Ultimate? I like that word. I don't know if it is a word. But ultimate is a good way to describe my Transformer of the Week this week, which is this guy. This is Combiner Wars Devastator. What way to say the last of our green themed Transformers and this big, ginormous, day glow green boss man. Look at this. I mean, I can't even get him all this. I'm going to get him all the way back here to actually get him all in screen. So just imagine, if you will, that I've made a long video and go into each of these guys individually and show them in their alt modes, and show them in their robot modes, and show them this and show them that. And you know, there's many videos out there where you can see that. Some very excellent YouTubers have done some excellent videos. So just imagine, if you will, that I have done it. I'm just going to skip right to the end and give you my final thoughts on this guy. We'll do a round robin of the individual guys, and then we'll talk about him as a whole. Right, so start off Scrapper. Scrapper, oh, so much character. I mean, I'll just say this outright for all of them. The head sculpts on these guys, I'm going to repeat myself, so I'll say no. The head sculpt on every single one of these guys is just absolutely brilliant. It just leaps straight out of the 1986 movie. I mean, I can imagine if this guy had sound clips, but he doesn't need it, because as soon as I see like the head of Scrapper or Bone Cruncher and stuff, I just hear the lines already. In that case, I say it's a survival of the fittest. You know, I mean, it just leaps out straight away to you, and it's just so much reminiscence. Just, you know, little robot head. He's just brilliant. And I just love that about these guys. So yeah, he's brilliant. He's smaller than the rest of them, which I kind of like, because he's the leader of the group. So it gives him this, like, the leaders, like, he's got this Napoleon concept, you know, this Napoleon complex compared to, you know, his bigger teammates. So I do actually quite enjoy that. Elbows. Everyone complains about his elbows. Look what his elbows are doing right now. His elbows are Devastator's ankle. Now, I was planning, you know, when I found out about the Unite Warriors, the Takara version where he had elbows, I wanted to swap my pre-order, but I ended up not doing that because reasons. But yeah, so I kind of like the idea of elbows, and I kind of like the idea of third-party companies are coming up with elbows, but I really want to pay attention to see what they're like before they come out, because these are propping up the whole, you know, sometimes the entire weight of this figure is on Scrapper's arms. And if those elbows don't lock in place correctly, he's just going to keep toppling over. So I like how sturdy, how propped his you know, his actual arms are. And the rest of him, yeah, he's just absolutely gorgeous. Let's go to Scavenger next. Scavenger is one of the standout figures in the range. He has lots of articulation, very interesting transformation. He's got that kind of really odd G1-esque head sculpt again, and he's just, as Dave Transformers jumps, he's got a very pair of splendid purple tracksuit pants on. He's just, yeah, he's a lot of fun, and you know, he's got the most articulation in vehicle mode as well, with his grabby excavator thing. So then we go on to, let's go long haul, or wide haul, as it should probably be known as now. Now, he's getting on to 30 years old, he's put on a bit of weight, I can appreciate that, yeah, but you don't, when you see the pictures of him and you look with his little dirty elbows and stuff, you don't really appreciate it. But when you get him on hand, he's just this Tonka truck size. He's a behemoth. He is just a behemoth in his own right. He's just this tanky He's not a tanky little dude, he's just a tanky big dude. He's just got zip-on articulation, but he's absolutely gorgeous with it. He is absolutely brilliant. So, Scrapper, Scavenger, Long Haul, Hook. I see, reaching for the names there. Hook. Again, he's a bit long in the body, but he's just as good as all the others. He's got, this nice little boom. Yeah, it doesn't extend all the way, but when am I going to extend it all the way? I mean, I don't know why I ever actually want to do that. But, he's just another really solid figure and performs his job admirably. Bonefish, again, is another one of my favourites. He's got a bit of a crotch issue, but again, he's just... He's just absolutely gorgeous with his big bull-lock chest and just... absolutely, they are brilliant. Mixmaster, again, it's robot mode, not got a problem with. Vehicle mode, we'll get into more of this later, but I just don't know why. In Devastator, in the first pictures it looks a bit gimpy, but that looks like a perfectly reasonable foot. It just doesn't look like Devastator's foot. I mean, that's how we're going to now into the full, Devastator thing. I mean, this is... it's a thing of beauty. It's flawed, but it's a thing of beauty. It's just got lots of articulation. The arms move really well. The wrists, you have to really kind of hold these back while you move the wrists, otherwise they kind of pop out a bit. There's a bit of tolerance issues there. He's got a meaty waist swivel. He's got arms. He's got ankle tilts. All the Constructicons have ankle tilts. It's like they've got an ankle tilt crazy. It's like, we can't, get elbows in everyone, but we can give everyone ankle tilts. It's just, the design for it just seems odd. I think I've seen pictures where Mixmaster's ripped a bit. He does have a ankle tilt, and I find that if you're doing a pose where you put all the weight on Mixmaster, it just feels a little bit bouncy, and it worries me slightly. So I tend to, when I'm not using the ankle tilt, I tend to just clip his arms into place to actually lock his ankle tilt, so that doesn't actually become an issue. But that's, all in all, this is just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, individually it's kind of like, I wish they'd had a bit more paint on them, but when you get the overall look of Devastator, it's just this non-busy green behemoth that I see that's what the mission statement has gone for. It's like, got some silver in here, put some silver in there, but if you start putting silver over here and extra paint over here, they've got the moulded in detail. The moulded in detail is absolutely brilliant, but if you started picking these out, I think it'd just make the big guy look just a bit too busy. And I just like the simplicity of it. I like if you look at the cartoon, this guy he's literally stepping right out with the Constructicons merge with the kill, and he is stepping right out of that. But if you look at that, how much actual detail do they put on the animation model of Devastator? They don't. And I think that is the mission statement of what Hasbro's gone for, is to provide this screen accurate representation of Devastator, which is why I think Mixmaster is a bit of a misstep. It's like they've dipped their toes into having this perfectly great G1 Devastator, and then they've gone, actually we'll just redesign we'll make a more modern kind of what you'd see in America kind of cement truck for Mixmaster. It's like, I could get behind that if they'd applied the same logic to all the other guys. If they'd give us a classic, reimagining look of Devastator, then I'd be all for that. Well, the fact they've just done it with one of them, it just seems a bit crazy. It just seems like, why have you done this? And this is when we start getting into our tin foil hat theory time. This is it. For whatever reason, Hasbro, Takara, whoever, the designers, do not want you to yet have a perfect Devastator. They don't want you to have it. It's a lot of things, you can say this with a lot of things, they deliberately, it's kind of like they design this, and it is very much, the head sculpts and everything have got that animation perfect, borderline classics or masterpiece head sculpts, and then some of the designs, how cartoon accurate they are, it's borderlining on that, but then they start to quality of the plastic, the thinness of it, the paint apps. It's kind of like they've designed it masterpiece style, and then they've had to go, oh, hang on, we're not ready to do masterpiece Devastator. Let's wind ourselves back. Let's make it cheaper. I mean, the whole plastic and stuff. It's like, I don't really have a problem because this is, I'm a grown man and holding this up for this while. It's starting to take its, starting to ache a little bit. Now this is made for 8 and up year olds, so take that as you want. Will an 8-year-old be able to, play with this effectively? If it was, the plastic was more solid, if this figure was heavier, I doubt it. I mean, so yeah, they've kind of designed, some respects they've kind of designed it, reaching towards the masterpiece scale, and then wound themselves back out and go, right, well, let's cut those arm articulations out. They kind of forgot that they'd given them ankle tilts, so actually they've not de-budgeted them, and then they've gone, right. So, but if we do a masterpiece Devastator, well, the classics one is close enough that we don't, the classics one, the Generations one is close enough. Maybe people won't buy a masterpiece Devastator when we eventually get round to doing it. I know. Let's fuck up Mr. Master. Let's make Mixmaster not. Let's make one of them just look wrong compared to the rest of them. That way, we've got a market for it. Also, we never really know who these third-party companies are. So, or who, some of them have who they have vested interest in. I mean, the speed that they're starting to come up with designs and fixes for Generations figures. It's like, are the people who are designing for Hasbro, do they have vested interest in the third-party companies as well? You've got to think about, that's kind of like, that is major tinfoil hat theory time. But no, all in all, this figure is a joy. It's flawed, but it is an absolute joy. It is just so reminiscent of his cartoon appearance. It's so reminiscent of just that Generations feeling, and it makes me happy. This figure makes me happy. It's auto assembly coming up. This guy's just come out. Hopefully, there'll be a lot of them there. I mean, this is the reason why my auto assembly spending budget isn't as much as it was going to be, but seeing as I might have picked this guy up anyway, I wonder without looking back on the train, I'm glad to have him now. But really, for the last auto assembly, this would be a memorable purchase to have like, what did you get for your last auto assembly? I got the big green behemoth that is Hasbro's Devastator. He doesn't disappoint. It's kind of like the extra paint apps, the extra elbows and all that type of stuff. It's all gravy, it's all trimmings. I mean, the actual meal itself is absolutely fantastic. It is just gorgeous. And I can do without the gravy. I can do without, some extra trimmings. I did think about going for the upgraded route, and I'm kind of still on the edge about it because this makes me happy enough. This actually makes me happy enough. Oh, wobbly cam. I've got a wobbly table. Anyway, I hope you've liked my concluding part of the road to auto assembly. Next week, I'll be there. Next week is auto assembly, unless you're watching this at a different point, and then the timing of this video has become irrelevant. But this toy has not. It is absolutely brilliant. It blows out all the other combiners from Combiner Wars so far out the window. I kind of wish that in the comics he would have been that much scale to the bigger one, because I mean he's already out. There's like there's a Menasor and Devastator, and at the moment they've got Defensor, Superion, and Optimus Maximus, or whatever, the Optimus Prime one. So it would have been quite good if they could have actually had to have a fight with Menasor, got him out of the way, and then had to have 3 small combiners versus this guy is like an actual credible threat of like on his own, because he's 6 Constructicons, not 5 other guys, so it would have been good if he would have just been this absolutely behemoth compared to other combiners. Anyway, that's just beside the point. I was wrapping up the video then, and I just had another little thought bubble spitting out in my head. But yeah, get Devastator. Don't blame me if you don't like it. Know what you're getting into when you get this. You're getting a big green thing that's fun. It's not masterpiece. It's not some third party super whatever product. This is a fun, relatively cheap for what we're actually getting figure. Oh, shut up, Richard. Just end the video. Anyway, this has been me. This is this is Mr. Yeti. This is Devastator. That was the Road to Auto Assembly. I hope to see you there, and then we can carry on with other things. Until then, ta-ta for now.